All right, welcome back, ladies and gentlemen. My name is Larry James. I own a company called Speak with Larry, no spaces. And on this video, I'm going to talk about a topic I did some research on titled "A Majority of Black Americans Say Opposing Racism is an Essential Part of Their Faith." Have you ever heard anything like that? Does that make any sense to you? Because it makes all the sense in the world to me because I'm very familiar with that. And I'm just going to read it because that's from an article from a website that I was doing some research on, the Pew Research Center. And it goes, the intersection of race and religion has played an important role in the civic lives of Black Americans for more than 2 centuries. From hosting antebellum abolitionist meetings to serving as centers for social movements in the mid-20th century. Black houses of worship have often been the foundation from which public battles for freedom and racial equality have been waged. At the same time, race plays a fundamental and complex role in the religious and personal lives of Black adults, according to the recent Pew Research Center. Now, opposing racism is an integral part of religious identity for many Black adults. 3/4 of Black Americans say that opposing racism is essential to their faith or sense of morality, a view that extends across faith traditions. Those who say that being Black is a very important part of their personal identity, 78% are more likely than those for whom being Black is less important, 70% to view opposition to racism this way. The majority of Black Protestants, regardless of the race or their congregation, along with Black Catholics and other Christians, such as Jehovah's Witnesses, Orthodox Christians, and other groups, say that opposing racism is essential to what being a Christian means to them. Likewise, the majority of Black non-Christian, including Muslims, adherents or traditional Africans or Afro-Caribbean religions and other groups, say that opposing racism is essential to what their faith means to them at 82%. And 71% of Black religious unaffiliated adults say that opposing racism is essential to their sense of morality. Now, while race factors significantly into what Black American faith means to them, it is also a key component to their personal identity. 2/3 of Black adults say being Black is a very important part of how they think about themselves. Black Protestants, 70%, are somewhat more likely than Catholics, 60%, and the religious unaffiliated, 62%, to say that being Black is a very important part of their personal identity. Among Protestants, 3/4 of those who attend Black churches, 76%, say that being Black is very important to how they think of themselves, as do 65% of those who go to multiracial churches and 56% of those who attend churches where most are white or other races. And while race is important to many Black Americans, personal identities and faith, large numbers of Black Americans are open to increasing diversity in historically Black congregations. About 6 in 10 Black Americans say that historically Black congregations should try to become more racially and ethnically diverse, while 2/3 say historically Black congregations should try to preserve their traditional racial character. Black adults who say that being Black is a very important part of how they think of themselves, 37%, are more likely than those who being Black is less important at 26%. to say that Black congregations should preserve their traditional racial character. Black Protestants and Catholics have similar views on whether Black congregations should diversify. Black Protestants who attend church where white people or some other racial or ethnic group make up the majority are only slightly more likely than those who attend Black churches to say that Black congregations should diversify, 69% versus 62% respectively. And when asked what sort of things they would prioritize if they were to find themselves looking for a new congregation, a few Black adults would prioritize race. Only 14% of Black Americans say it would be very important to them to find a house of worship with Black senior religious leaders, and a similar share, 13% say it would be very important to find a congregation where most attendees are Black. While about 1 in 5 say each of these factors is somewhat important, most Black adults say these factors are either not too important or not at all important. In contrast, and an 8 out of 10 Black Americans say it would be very important for houses of worship to have welcoming congregations. And a small share of Black adults who view being Black as very important part of their identity say factors like having a Black congregation would be very important in their search for a new house of worship. Even so, they are more likely than those of whom being Black is less important to say that congregations that have Black leadership, 18% versus 6% respectively, the Black members, 16% versus 5%, would be very important in a new church. And finally, Black Protestants are somewhat more likely than Black Catholics to say that if they were looking for a new congregation, it would be very important to them that most attendees and religious leaders were Black. Still, relatively small shares of Protestants who attend different types of congregations would prioritize the race or attendees and religious leaders if they were searching for a new church. Now, I thought that was a very interesting article that was actually written by Kiana Cox, a research associate focusing on race and ethnicity at Pew Research Center. So like I say, I just want to share information with you guys in line with the Black journey or the Black experience, both past and present, right? And this is part of the Black experience. The church plays a very important role in how Blacks view life, because we have a tendency to be very religious when it comes to certain aspects of life, right? And there's no doubt or reason why, but I know the reason why, and you do too, right? That was the only book we were allowed to read as our ancestors, as slaves, right? All right, listen, I hope you enjoyed that. Again, my name is Larry James. I'll be bringing these videos to you relatively frequently, because this is what I do, and I'm actually learning along this journey. Hope you enjoyed it. Again, share with someone else what I've shared with you. Bye.